is only one case that's on the agenda for consideration this evening. That is Z20027, the Wheaton Winfield Road LLC case. So who's wants to make a motion on this? Mr. Murphy?
Chairman, I move that we grant the variation to place a well and septic system instead of public water and sewer system.
I can't hear that. I heard him make a motion. Can you speak up?
It's a motion to grant, and he repeated the requested relief.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Murphy, seconded by Ms. Anderson. Is there discussion on the motion? Who wants to make a remark?
Hold on just a second. I'm gonna take the mic in front. One thing, there's been seemed to be a lot of people corresponding us in regard to the safety and about the water, not sufficient water. But at the hearing, it was stated that the fire hydrant would be within 300 feet of the property, and 300 feet is about the spacing most of your fire hydrants are in the cities anyway, so they would have sufficient water if there was a fire.
Okay, quick comment.
I'm going to weigh in. And I've given this a lot of thought. I've read all the comments. I've disregarded one on taxes, water, all the issues that didn't have any relevance. My real issue here is I don't think this is what is to be considered a hardship. And we've done this in the past. It's kind of, you picked your own hardship because you picked a piece of property where you could get water, but it would be costly. So it's not impossible. And if it's costly, is that a hardship in and of itself? And after much thought, I don't think so. There are the project we approved with the housing on Pulte as West Chicago. There might be a way to get that. But my major concern, in addition to the hardship, is if we were to do this, municipalities put a lot of money, and part of their infrastructure is sewer and water. And they get federal funds and they maintain these. And if we have to look at one thing being a good neighbor, because it's not going to always be unincorporated areas. And second of all, if we allow this, this could go up all over, and then you're trying to run a municipality with spot sewer and water and spot systems like this. And I don't think that's what was foreseen, and I don't think the courts meant this as a hardship. And based on that, my vote would be no.
Anybody else? No.
I'll make this short and sweet. I concur with what Mr. Ketter said, and I would also be voting no for the same reasons.
Okay, I'll just say that I think it's important to reflect that we're only being asked to consider one of the otherwise statutory requirements for this development, and that is the sewer and water issue. I think we haven't discussed the sewer, but things appear to have changed pretty significantly in respects the technical developments to these sewer systems. So I think that's obviously resolved. With respect to the hardship question, I agree that it's a close question, but my sense is that you know, there are alternative tests of practical difficulties, unique circumstances, etc. And I do think there's a practical difficulty here. Plus, I have to rely to some significant extent on the fact that however this happened is a mystery to me. But it appears that the county health department has already issued the required permits and seems to have resolved some of this. So I think the fire department seems to be signed off on the water issue. The petitioner's done a pretty good job. I agree Winfield still has some issues, but it seems to me that the petitioner's testimony sufficiently outweighs the concerns of that municipality. So I appreciate the remarks from Mr. Hakeem and Mr. Ketter, but I'm inclined to lean a different way for my vote. So are there any other comments, Mr. Moran?
They did discuss, and I agree with Mr. Ketter on a lot of these, the people of the area were talking about that it's tax-free. So I just didn't listen to that. I was trying to see the practicality, and from what I see, the water might not be an issue, but they showed that they would need a lift station. That's going to be pretty intense. They've proven that this biometric septic would work. So I'm looking at what will work. And so by the same token, I'm going to vote for the petition myself, because I do see that being a hardship. I just wanted to let in. And fire protection, they brought up a lot of the fire protection, which is huge. They've already said they're going to have a storage tank and that it would handle any type of an emergency. So that's why I'm going for the petition. Thank you.
Okay, who's calling the roll? Jessica, would you call the roll on the motion to approve?
Yes.
Subject to the various conditions set out in the report, I trust, right? Okay, go ahead. Call the roll, please.
Member Murphy. Member Murphy. Member Anderson.
Aye.
Member Moran.
Aye.
Member Ketter.
No.
Member Hakeem.
No.
Member Schultz.
Aye.
Chairman Barthel.
Aye. The motion passes by a vote of 5 in favor and 2 opposed. We'll go forward to the County Development Committee with that recommendation. Thank you. And let's take, there's no other old business or new business to be resolved here, but we do have the procedure now where we call for public comment. No public comment has been offered. And so I have no public comment to read into the record. If there's nothing else, we'll adjourn for the evening. Good luck with your project, Mr. Casson. And
Thank you very much.